Hi, this is Ashley,
And Cindy,
and this is Life for Dummies.
because we're real dumb.
What are we talking about today, Cindy?
I thought we should talk about the fact that little tiny changes over time will actually create huge changes in your life.
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah.
Why don't you get us started?
Well, when I first started living this way of life, I wanted everything to change, immediately. I stopped using, everyone should trust me again, my life should be manageable, I should love myself, I should be able to not be a shitty person. And the fact of the matter is that would have been just way too much all at once, right? So I had to start making tiny little changes every single day and just be consistent with what I was doing. And then over time, it's wow, the first year of me being clean and living this way of life, I always say it's the longest, shortest year of your life because it just seems like it took forever, but yet it just happened so quickly. But it was just me making small little changes every single day that added up.
Something I'm thinking about in this topic is that for me, the days were Groundhog Day. And every day I would wake up and do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And it would always end with me being super drunk, right? And
You don't say.
yeah, or high, right? And the problem is that because I was in such misery, physically sick from those drugs, if you will, the days dragged on. And it just never produced any kind of good outcome because I would never let myself be productive where what you're talking about, you just do it slowly over time and you'll find productive results. I never even allowed that to happen because I was stuck in this miserable Groundhog's Day.
Absolutely. And so was I, why isn't anything getting better? Why aren't things changing? Well, nothing's changing because literally nothing's changing, right? And so I had to just change one thing, like we talk about, and that was everything. But it started out very slow. And I had to be okay with it being slow. I had to be okay with just not using for one day at a time. I had to be okay with making a conscious decision on every single morning when I got up to not use no matter what. And that was the biggest change. And by doing that one tiny thing, removing that one behavior that was making my life unmanageable, so many wonderful things have happened.
I would say I definitely didn't think that so much could change from removing one behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think my drinking was a problem. Do you have anything to say about that?
That's because denial is real. Yeah, I didn't think my using was a problem. I didn't think it was a big problem. It was a huge problem. Yeah. It was my number one problem. And it blocked everything good in my life.
So probably part of this doing a little bit every day also is self-honesty, or there's like an honesty attribute. Would you say?
Yeah, so I'm really good at certain things, and one of the things I used to be really good at, or at least I thought, was telling you exactly what you wanted to hear. But I believed my own lies, right? I was not honest with myself. And when it got to the end of the road for me, everyone could see how terrible it really was. And they knew that, the end result would be death if I kept doing what I was doing. But I kept lying to myself. And I finally had to just get honest with myself and say, you know what, you are going to die. This behavior, this is not serving you anymore. And it's not okay. It's not acceptable. So being honest with myself was literally my saving grace. But it takes courage to be honest with yourself. Because once you know, you can't unknow. And then once you know, you have to make changes. I mean, you don't have to, but it becomes extremely painful.
Totally. Yeah, so basically, if, I understand that things just aren't working out all the time, right? And it's like so frustrating because people are just not listening to me, or they're just not doing what I think should be done. And I keep getting the same, I keep getting the same frustrating result. And yet I didn't think I was the problem. I didn't think possibly something in me, or my thinking, or my attributes, or even my behavior was the issue. It was always, oh, why won't things just work out? Because if they would just listen to me, it would all be okay.
Yeah. And the thing is when we're behaving the way that Ashley and I used to behave, no one's listening. No one is going to listen to the drunk at the bar, the girl in the bathroom that can't leave the stall. Like no one is going to listen to us. And thank God they didn't, because they would have ended up in there with us, right? So, once again, we talk about being honest and open minded and willing, and you have to be all of these things in order to get something different. And by implementing these small little changes on a daily basis, people will listen to you. Life won't be so frustrating. You're not angry all the time because you're removing all these things that are causing harm. And once you do that, it's a game changer.
And that's what's so interesting. I didn't think that I was causing harm to myself, to anyone else, because I could handle it. That's what I told myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is that everything was burning around me, but I just couldn't see it. And I just didn't totally believe that all of these amazing dreams that I've always wanted to accomplish could come true, because it seemed so far out there. It seemed such a make-believe fantasy world, because the world that I had created and the world that I live in was chaos and constantly getting the same frustrating results over and over again.
Well, absolutely. And that's how my world was. It was drama filled, it was chaotic, it was, like you said, frustrating. I was upset all the time, I was angry. I just was not the best version of myself. And I had to get to the point where I was just so sick and tired of being sick and tired that I was willing to do something different and like look to other people for answers, because I really truly thought I had all the answers. I'm here to tell you I still know that I don't have all the answers, and thank goodness for that, because that means that I remain open-minded and teachable. And if I can remain open-minded and teachable, then, I can learn anything. I can become whoever I want, whatever I want. But it all goes back to making small changes every single day, because those little changes add up.
And that's the point I'm making. I'm kind of creating this person who's so obstinate in their way of thinking and doesn't think anything is wrong and everybody else is the problem. That person is not going to be able to do the little thing every day to get the result that they want. Until we realize that it's our character defects that are in our way, and then we get out of the way and allow for that open-mindedness to produce fruit just for today of something good in our lives. Until we do that, we won't be able to produce that fruit again tomorrow or the next day and over a long enough period of time to create this wonderful, most amazing, fantastical life that we truly are destined to have.
I love that. And I love that you said fantastical, because I love that word. I don't really know if it's a real word, but I like say it all the time to people. And that is, like, Ashley and I live these lives today that are absolutely amazing. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be able to wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and like what I saw, like who I saw, and love who I saw. You know, I used to not be able to look at myself in the eyes because I had so much guilt and shame about how I was living my life and what I was doing, but yet I wasn't the problem. You know, if you can identify with that, then I'm here to tell you that you just might be your own worst enemy and you probably are the problem. But the good news is there's hope.
There is a solution. So subscribe and keep coming back. You'll get it here.
We love you guys.